Good morning, Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma. Welcome to Special Report for Thursday, July the 23rd. It's a great day outside today. Not too hot, not too cold, and not raining on us when we came in, so that's fantastic.
Yes, that is good news.
Yes.
This is Chris. You didn't even get to introduce your name
and I'm Chris
today.
Oldcorn, and I'm here with
Danny Dupuy.
There we
Hello,
go.
everyone. We also want to say a big thank you to KC Security for sponsoring the show. Now, Chris, tell me, we have some changes going on this afternoon. What's happening at 1 today?
Yes. So today, Special Report will be preempted, and we won't be carrying Doug Ford. We're doing a special. It's on COVID-19, specifically on the mandatory mask policy that just came into effect, and also the Stage 3 reopening.
Oh, perfect.
Actually, later in the show, we'll have some other stuff related to Stage 3 reopenings, because more things are going to start opening in the next few days as well, and expanded and so on. But I'll be joined by Algoma Public Health, the Ontario Medical Association, Councillor Hilsinger, and also a local business owner as well. And we will be talking about issues related to COVID-19. If you have any questions, you can go to our website or Facebook. Click on the actual story. You can put the question in there. If you're uncomfortable with posting the question publicly, you can also Facebook message me. You can put it in the chat right now for the morning show here on Facebook, or you can email me, chris@siouxonline.com. I've received several emails and Facebook messages from people who are like,
that's
I have this
awesome.
question, but I don't want my name out there connected to it. And I'm like, okay, fine. So any questions will just be purely anonymous questions. I won't be saying anyone's name. And so if you have any questions specifically for a business owner or for Algoma Public Health or for the Ontario
Let us
Medical Association.
know.
So yeah, we're going to have a doctor, public health nurse, business owner, and a counselor. So,
It's going to be really interesting to see on the business side of it what
Yes.
they're having to do and how they're implementing all these new rules, you know, buying PPE. As many of you may know, Toronto implemented a long time ago the COVID fee because businesses are having to go out and buy more PPE, more sanitation, just all that fun stuff. So they kind of jacked up the prices. But as Chris mentioned, we have some things opening up in Stage 3. The John Rhodes released last night that they are now in Stage 3 for their Arena 1 and 2. And they do have a little bit of few rules right now. Amateur and recreational sports leagues may resume as long as they do not allow prolonged or deliberate physical contact. Okay, come on, not be hitting people against the boards.
That makes sense.
Participants will be limited to a maximum of 50 individuals per ice surface.
That's up from 10 then, right?
Yes, yes, it is. Exhibition games are permitted in accordance with social distancing. They're also saying that you can only have 50 participants. If you have more than 50 participants, then you kind of have to break into two. In Stage 3, locker rooms, change room, showers, and clubhouses in the facility will be open. 2 change rooms per team, though. So
there'll be doubles.
Yeah, a little bit more. And there's also going to be a lot more cleaning. They also wanted to say city employees and members of the public who enter or remain in city facility must wear a mask or face covering. Exceptions include children under the age of 2, those with respiratory or medical conditions that make it difficult to wear a mask, or for those individuals who are participating in the sports. So as we know, when you're entering the facility, you got to cover up. But they also want to say, you know, if you can't find these rules or you have any questions, to let them know. Remember, we always have this on siouxonline.com that you can go through and look at. And they also say there's lots of signage everywhere, so if you are kind of concerned, just kind of look around, because even going into the mall, going anywhere now, all I see are just these signs everywhere. Questions?
If they're allowed 50 people, does this mean that they can restart the hockey leagues in the fall? Is that kind of what they're hinting at here?
I think so, a little bit. Nothing really came out. It said even with like the spectators for sports. So if they are kind of resuming, they are having people gather as well. So it can go back to 50 people gathering on the outside. So I think this is as long as they're 6 feet apart. But I feel like this is a movement forward to get them back to where they are. I mean, have to go through it a little bit more. Read through the whole thing, but didn't really see anything about when they're
I just like if you're putting something together with 50 people, that's got to be a league of some kind. So maybe they are sort of going to. And we only entered Stage 3 last Friday too, and they've already done this. So what's it going to be like 3 months from now?
Well, these leagues that they have are like certain. I wouldn't say like there's men's leagues. There's also beer leagues that we have and stuff like that too.
Summer hockey league.
Yeah. So and this even identifies that these leagues, as long as they have 50 members, like that's it. So it's like 50 per team kind of thing. So. Okay. That's really interesting. And how about you? You got some new numbers, I believe, going on?
Yes. Okay. So in Ontario, things went up a little bit in terms of new cases. We were at 165 yesterday, but way down from the one day when we were over 200, which is good. But I mean, this point last week, we were reporting 111 cases last Thursday. Basically, 165 new cases. We have 2 new deaths from COVID-19. However, what's really, really amazing is that 18 public health units had 0 new cases, and 28 of our 34 had less than 5. So basically, the areas that are not in stage 3 are basically where most of the cases are, and they're also in younger people. So we're seeing about half the cases now with people between the ages of 20 and 39. Also, there's been a bit of a flare-up in Ottawa. They've seen a bit of a bump in cases over the last couple of days.
Yeah.
They were way down, and they were in that sort of group of less than 5 a day. They've now popped back up. But it's still Toronto and Peel and Windsor-Essex where predominantly there continues to be cases.
But they're still in stage 2, aren't they,
They are
right
all
now?
still in stage 2.
For another few weeks.
Yeah, at least. They said that they wanted to see 4 weeks of good data before they would move
Makes sense.
Toronto or Peel or Windsor-Essex to stage 3. Now keep in mind that they were the last ones to move to stage 2 as well. So it's not like they're like super behind because they didn't move to stage 3 last Friday when the rest of the
They
province
kind of have
did.
their own plan in place
They're
right
already
now.
on a delayed timetable
Yeah.
because of that, because they need that 4 weeks of data before they can make a decision. So the earliest you could possibly see Toronto or Peel, just based on the data and when they move to stage 2, would be next Friday, not this Friday.
Okay,
Would be
I
the
mean, at least there's some
absolute earliest.
progress.
Yes,
And-
and 165 cases is not the end of the world. I mean, look at what's going on in the States, for example.
Yeah, that's true too.
And you've got to consider too, we're 14.7 million people. So 165 cases and 14.7 million people, and there's less than 2,000 active cases. As a matter of fact, there's about 1,500 active
Okay,
cases
so
in
you
the
know
entire
what?
province.
We are seeing that decline, but we
Yep.
there's a few individuals out there who are taking to wearing mask coverings and masks a little different way. So what we found was a
Yes.
Sioux teenager put a mask on, dressed up as grandma, walked herself to the LCBO and bought some booze, and here's the video for it.
And he filmed himself, which
Yeah.
the police greatly appreciate because, wow.
So this was on TikTok.
Which LCBO is that?
There's one in the West End, and then there is the one just up over here by us.
Oh, that one.
Yep,
Wow, he went to all of them?
she did actually.
It was a female?
Yep.
Oh, it was
Yep,
a female
it was a
dressing up.
female,
Oh, I saw one that was a guy dressed up as
Yeah, there's a few of them popping
Yeah.
around. If you do have TikTok, I've seen a few in the States.
I'm not on TikTok, but
yeah.
not exactly
That's-
my generation.
This one was a female. That is very true, as you always call me
Yeah.
the millennial here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But what else? There's also a vaccine coming out we want to talk about?
Well,
Oh,
sort
or
of.
question
Yeah.
around a vaccine?
The White House and Donald Trump, Pfizer in the States says that they are working on a vaccine. Everybody is, but they think that it's possible they could have a vaccine this year. The U.S. government has already bought 1 million doses of that vaccine immediately after it's approved. Now, you have to understand, too, that vaccines normally take 6 to 7 years to develop. This is a very tightened up timeline that we're looking at a vaccine here for. But the U.S. wanted to be the first to have this vaccine, and they have already paid to get it. Pfizer's also basically an American company. And so, I mean, obviously they weren't going to say no to the U.S. government buying
Yeah, no
100
kidding.
million. I mean, if we were like the Canadian government, we were like, hey, we want to buy 30 million, and Trump was like, we'll buy 100. If I'm Pfizer, I'm taking the 100 million.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I thought Australia was working on a vaccine right now.
Oh yeah,
too.
Australia
There's a
has
few
one.
other
There's
places.
one at Oxford University over in England. It looks very, very promising. They just found out another steroid, prednisone, is actually reducing people's chance of going on a ventilator by 75%.
Wow.
Yeah, they had been using a different one called dexamethasone. I dealt with this a couple days ago on my show. I think it was Monday's show. And it's successful, that steroid, but only on a subset of cases. And this prednisone is actually useful for anyone with COVID-19.
Yeah, because as
So
we know,
that's a step
COVID-19 does
forward.
not discriminate.
No,
It doesn't at all.
So there is and there is remdesivir, which only just shortens your hospital stay. But there's no real difference in terms of chances of going on a ventilator from remdesivir. It just seems to get you out of the hospital a couple days faster,
Okay. Oh.
which is obviously useful when you're
Yeah.
looking for hospital beds. But it does look like that steroid's going to be pretty useful. It looks like Pfizer might have a vaccine this year. But Dr. Fauci is warning that COVID-19 will never be eradicated because viruses never actually get eradicated.
No.
They're just controlled or they go dormant again and then they flare up 200 years from now.
And as we anticipate, there is going to be a flare up come fall. I mean, I can't personally say, oh yeah, it's going to happen, but there's lots of conversation that
and the other thing too is you've got Alberta and BC who moved to stage 3 faster than Ontario, and they're seeing some flare-ups now. We're going to see the same thing probably starting like the end of next week. You're going to see a bit of a jump in actual cases just because of where we are in stage 3. But now we got to go over to Daniel for a little bit of a weather tease. What's going on in the weather
what
today?
What you got for us?
Good morning. Thank you, Chris and Danny. Well, Chris, I've got a couple of nice warm days in store for you with your favorite heat coming up, which is nice. So you're going to see on the live view right now, which is sponsored by wirelesscom.ca. This is a view of our waterfront downtown, and the sun is out, and we aren't going to see too much in the way of precipitation in the next couple of days. Thursday and Friday are going to be very nice, but I am going to have your full weather details, your 3-day forecast, your regional temperatures, and all that right after this break. So stay tuned for more special report. We'll be right back.
A message from the Government of Canada.
At Maitland Ford Lincoln, we see our trucks everywhere. We see them on Queen Street, Lake Street, North Street, Bay Street, 2nd line, 3rd line, 4th line, Pine Street, Great Northern Peoples Road, Wellington, Cora Road, Bruce Street, Carmen's Way, Northern Ave, Trunk Road. Folks come from all over Algoma District and beyond to buy their truck at Maitland Ford Lincoln. Amazing prices, outstanding service. King Street, Shannon Road, Goulet Bay, Black Road, Government Road, and even on Pine Shores. Yep, our trucks are everywhere. Get yours at Maitland Ford Lincoln, built for Northern life, on Great Northern Road, just north of the hospital.
And welcome back to Special Report for Thursday, July 23rd. Thank you to KC Securities for your sponsorship. All right, we got a bunch of shout outs on Facebook here. So good morning to Nicole, Karen, Ruby, and Alicia. Thank you very much for liking our Facebook feed and making comments in there as well.
You're reading something different than me because I also have a Karen on here, a Rachel on here. Are we reading different ones?
No, I was going through the likes first.
Oh,
I haven't got to the actual comment part. Those are just the likes.
Okay.
We also have Karen, Nicole, and Rachel there for likes, saying good morning as well. Good morning to you all. If you ever have any questions about what we're talking about in the top news stories of the day, or if you want any birthday shout-outs or anniversaries, you can just pop it in the chat on Facebook Live, and we will then be able to put it up on air for you. So thank you very much to everyone who comments there every morning. Also, if you have any questions for the virtual town hall, you can pop them in the chat here as well for at 1 p.m. But we have to go over to Daniel for some weather. What's going on for the next 3 days there, bud?
Thanks very much, Chris and Danny, and good morning, everyone. And I want to do a special birthday shout out. It is my father's birthday today, so happy birthday, Dad. He owns KC Roofing and Siding, so if you do see him out and about today, stop him and wish him happy birthday. And take it easy today. Don't work too hard. That's the orders from myself. All right, we're going to get into the radar here. So you're going to see come up on your screen right now. You're going to see that there's high pressure that's kind of sitting right over us over here, and we've got some low pressure below. So what's going to happen is we're going to have high pressure now for Thursday, Friday, the weekend. This low over here is going to move up, and it's going to come in, and we're going to see unstable weather again. And I know Danny likes when I use the term mixed bag, because we may see that. So keep that in mind on the weekend. Kind of looking like Sunday now. Saturday was originally, but maybe late Saturday. We're just going to keep tracking it, and maybe tomorrow we'll have a better update just before your weekend. All right, so we'll get into your expected highs for the region today. So lots of 26s going on, 26 in Thunder Bay, Wawa, and Sault Ste. Marie, and 28 in Timmins is the expected high. That's the hot spot in the region, and then 25 degrees in Elliott Lake and Sudbury. And your expected lows overnight, very comfortable once again and seasonal, 13 degrees in Thunder Bay, 11 in Wawa, the cool spot, Timmins 14, Sault Ste. Marie 14 as well, and Elliott Lake and Sudbury both at 15. So it is currently sunny out there. There are a few clouds lingering. Those will clear up. You will see a high of 26 today, mainly sunny, and humidex is not a huge factor. You're looking at 28 and only 10-kilometer-an-hour winds to the northwest, so it won't be too bad of a day out there. But your UV index will be high, so keep that in mind and bring your sunscreen or your hat whenever you're out. And we'll see a low of 14 overnight. And on Friday, we're going to get into a very hot one, 28 degrees. We're going to have some humidity, so Friday, we'll see that high pressure really kick into gear. We'll see a low of 17. Friday overnight, things will change a little bit. Saturday, you're looking at mainly sunny and partly cloudy throughout the day. And then in the evening, you're going to see that change come in for Sunday. Now, Saturday, you can see it's 30 degrees and very humid. It's going to be very hot. And then only a low of 19, so you're not going to get much relief overnight. Sunday, those showers are going to move in, and it's going to be a high of 26. We're going to see about a 60% chance of showers on Sunday, my apologies. And you're going to see a low of 18 overnight. So that's what's looking like. You're going to have a good start to your weekend, but I'll have your full 7-day forecast and your weather watcher coming up later on in the show, so I'm going to send it back over to Chris and Danny.
Thanks, Dan. That actually looks like, as you said, a mixed bag of certain things going on. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to speak with Tina McClarty, one Suite who's just been going above and beyond making face coverings. She's been selling them for $5 a piece and has raised $10,000, which she's donated all over. She's now reached over 3,000 masks, and we have an interview for that, so here it is.
Yeah, that's when I started making it. At first, I started making them for the hospital. And my friends, I post pictures because I was proud I'd never made a mask before. I watched a YouTube video on how to make them. And my friends all started asking me, can I buy a mask? So I thought, oh, geez. So I said, okay, $5. So I'll charge $5 for my masks. And I said, well, they originally was supposed to go to the hospital. So I started donating the money to the hospital. I ended up giving $1,500 to the hospital. And then it just became contagious that I just wanted to give money to other organizations that were suffering. So, I tried posting on Facebook that I'm selling masks, but I was blocked. They wouldn't allow you to sell masks because they thought that they were medical masks. So the word mask, you weren't allowed to post it. So I found a way around it. I have a Relay for Life Facebook page, and I posted my masks on there, and I shared that onto these selling sites, and that's how I got around selling these masks.
Way to think outside of the box. And you sent me over the list of where you've donated locally in town, and I mean that's so phenomenal. So thank you so much for doing that. I'm sure that all the organizations appreciate it as well. And you're just selling them for $5. What are you doing now? Because we know you've already donated about $10,000. Are you doing anything further?
I'm not sure right now. I've started back to work, so it's a little bit more complicated for me to do that, but I'd like to in the future donate again. For sure.
And stay tuned for the rest of that interview coming up on our YouTube page. And we are heading over to a commercial, and we will see you after the short break.
of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
And welcome back to Special Report for Thursday, July the 23rd. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. But we got some interesting things going on.
Yes, we do. So, the Sault Ste. Marie Police Services have partnered up with Special K. Might I add, I did not realize that there are 9 Circle K Special K. Oh my goodness.
Special K, that's a cereal.
But that's a cereal. Had that this morning. But there are 9 Circle Ks in the Soo, and I didn't really realize that until reading this announcement. So, like I said, the Sault Ste. Marie Police Services and Circle K have come together to implement a new program called the Safe Place Program in all the Circle K stores. It's an initiative to encourage all victims of crime and any community members, to go report. They have a safe place that if there's crime or something going on, they know that they can go there. And what you look for is the little Safe Place logo that they have on the front of the door. And that's how you know it's a designated spot. And, they're hoping that this initiative just helps support crime and helps kind of diminish it. We also have another story. This came in yesterday, and I don't know about you, but I didn't know moose fines could get this much.
This is a very expensive moose.
This is very
expensive. This is the equivalent of like buying a small car.
And here it is.
Yeah.
4 men have been fined a total of $17,000, $500, and handed 7 years in hunting suspension for illegal moose hunting related offenses. There are 4 men.
Wow.
One of them went out, hunted a bull moose when he only had his license for a cow moose, so I didn't really know that there was a difference. So they shot it, hunted it, realized, oh no, this is the wrong moose. They moved it away from the site. Later on, the next night, they took their snow machines to kind of go hide the moose. They found the moose, the RCMP, or MNR, I should say, found the moose, and now some of the men are pleading guilty of hunting a bull moose without a license, as well as transporting wildlife unlawfully and abandoning flesh suitable for human consumption. I cannot believe that.
I wonder if they're allowed to keep their guns.
They got their license taken away for 7 years.
Well, that's what I mean.
Like,
did they also lose their gun license?
Yes, they also did. One of them's
So
actually
do they
going
have to turn their guns in then, and then they get them
Yeah.
back in 7 years or something?
Kind of. So it's really interesting.
Because now the police would just go to the house and be like, yeah, we know you don't have a gun license, and you have guns.
Well,
so.
what's interesting about this story is this actually happened, when was it? In December 2018, and it's just kind of coming to light right now.
Wow.
So they are scheduled to appear in court coming up in September, and if you want to figure out the full story, we do have it on our Soo online. But I could not believe that. I looked at that and I'm like,
that's a very expensive piece of meat.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, it's collectively the 4 of them contributing, but it's still, that's a big fine.
Yeah.
And people, when you are hunting out there, make sure you know your seasons. Make sure you know what type of license you have.
Make sure you know if you're shooting.
That too.
Yeah.
That's huge. So this is to everyone out there.
Yeah.
And we also have what's going on. There is something going on with Niagara Falls and some boat tours. Do you want to explain that to us first?
Yeah, well, it's very interesting. The boat tours on the American Maid of the Mist are full, and the boat tours on Maid of the Mist Canada are empty. Reason being is, Americans seem to think it's great to be right next to each other like that and fill up a ferry. And yeah, look at that. I'm pretty sure they are not social distancing, and that's definitely bigger than a 10 social circle.
There's
and there's
Canada.
the Canadian one with 2 people on it. And they might be staff. So yeah, so that's the difference between the American Made of the Mist and the
Way to see it
Canadian
just-
Made of the Mist.
Right there in front of you.
Yeah,
Wow,
so
what a difference that is.
That shows you why America has a problem right now with COVID-19 and Canada doesn't. So, but
I wonder if they had masks, or they would just get wet and then they wouldn't even work anymore.
The mask would be soaking wet.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one that goes right up to where the falls
Yeah.
are. Okay, speaking of water, is there any water coming in the weather? Or are we going to see sun for the next 7 days there, Daniel?
Oh, thank you, Chris and Danny. I can't promise you 7 days in a row. We're going to probably see some water. And yeah, Niagara Falls, quick point. I went there last year. I was there in September of last year, and those boats are always packed on both sides. So, the Canadians are really obviously taking it safe, playing it safe, and the Americans, you can judge for yourself. But we're going to get into, I'm going to actually mention couple quick stats. So today our record high was 32.4 in 1989, and 1.7 in 1949 was our record low. We aren't going to hit any of those, but you are going to see a decent day out there. So we're going to get into your weather watcher here quickly. This is a photo sent in. It's from Garson Hill here, or at James Tipton Field there, right off of Elliott in Sault Ste. Marie. Beautiful shot, nice sunny day in the park, and thank you very much for sending that in, Justin. And you can send those in to ontvweather@gmail.com. Please include your name and location, and we will get it up on our Weather Watcher segment for you. All right, we're going to take a quick recap of your 7-day. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to see sun for a couple days. Friday and Saturday, we're going to get very high and hot, humid. Like very humid, like 39 on Saturday. So get ready for that. Not very much relief overnight. You're going to see showers move in Sunday and Monday. You're going to see unstable weather, mixed bag. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're looking at more seasonal temperatures once again. The sun will return, but your overnight lows are still hovering between 16 to 19 degrees. So it's still very comfortable overnight. So that's what I got for you, Chris. So hopefully that's good. You're not going to get your Miami weather, but you will get some sun. I'm going to send it back over to you guys.
Thank you very much, Daniel. We got a couple sports stories.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
If you were tuning in yesterday, you did kind of hear us say, oh, yeah, the Blue Jays are going to be playing at Pittsburgh. Well, that is not the case.
Yes.
They actually were waiting approval before making that decision in Pittsburgh, and health officials,
Yeah.
they decided, you know what, no, we're not going to go ahead. Too much travel back and forth. It puts a risk for everyone. So right now, the Jays are
They're
patiently
basically
waiting.
probably going to be playing all of their home games as away games at this point.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, their first game's tomorrow.
Yes.
And
Yes.
opening night is tonight, so.
Yeah, who knows what's going to happen,
Yeah.
but the general manager Atkins, he's kind of said the team, they're looking at Baltimore as being one suggestion. I guess they have like a lineup of all these different places, but if that doesn't happen and they can't find a major league park, they're going to be going to Buffalo where they have some of their training, but at the end of the day, they're going to wait for what the players have to say, what team members, all that, what everyone has to say, because it's also their decision. And they did say they'd rather be playing at an actual MLB stadium versus kind of like a minor
Little league.
league.
Yeah,
So
minor
it's-
league.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. And good news too.
NFL, no preseason, and if you're going to go to the stadium, you are going to have to wear a mask for the 2020 season. That's even if they're allowed to put people
Yeah.
into stadiums. They're also still even talking about canceling the season for the NFL because a lot of players are like, I don't really want to do this. And I don't want to expose myself. I mean, in football, you're right on top of each other
Oh, I
every
couldn't
single
imagine.
play and breathing right in each other's faces on the line. So I don't blame them for not wanting to play right now. But I'll be back at 1 o'clock for the virtual summit about mandatory masks and stage 3. I'll have Algoma Public Health, Ontario Medical Association, a counselor, and a business owner. See you at 1 p.m. Have a great morning.
See everyone.